Right then guys, how's it going and welcome back to your football predictions. It feels like ages ago since I did the last video because we had the FA Cup weekend last weekend, but those were my predictions from 2 weeks ago. I got one correct score, so I did okay. And as always, loads of you guys got involved, so thank you to everyone who commented on the last video. This week's winners, with 3 correct scores on the last video, are Zuhaib, Liam, and Anthony. So well done to you three. As I say, the only people to get 3 correct scores on the last video. And remember, if you want to be shouted out in my next predictions video next week, be sure to get your predictions down in the comments below for this weekend's Premier League's football. But as always, we will go through the games together now. So I am aware that there is a game on tonight. There is also games on through the midweek next week because of all of the games getting cancelled and the games getting replayed. We are just going to do the games that are on this weekend. So I'm going to keep it simple because technically we have actually already predicted all of these games already. They're just getting played at a later date. So we are going to do what was the original Game Week 22, which starts off on Friday night with Brighton versus Crystal Palace. So Brighton sitting in 9th. Crystal Palace sitting in 17th. Brighton have lost just 1 of their last 7 games, which is outstanding. And as much as I always joke that Brighton just love to draw all of their games, they've actually won 2 out of the last 3. And one of them was a good win against Everton before the FA Cup break. So they are on good form, taking on a Crystal Palace side who have actually lost 4 of their last 7, including a 3-2 loss again before the FA Cup break. So I am going to back Brighton. I am going to go 1-0, which no doubt means they'll probably draw. And I will just say that if you are watching this video while this game might be on, or maybe you're watching it Friday night, or maybe you're watching this on Saturday morning, don't worry. I will come back and pick up any late scores. So let's jump into the Saturday now. 12:30 on BT Sport. We have got Manchester City taking on Chelsea. So, first versus second. However, there is a 10-point gap between these two. Man City are 10 points ahead of Chelsea right now, which is just mad. You know, we are halfway through the season to already be 10 points ahead. So, really, if Chelsea want any chance of winning the league, they've got to win this game. I mean, you're looking at the stats in front of you there. Man City is just all green. That's 7 wins in a row. It's probably longer than that, but my screen doesn't go that far. And I have backed Man City to win this one as well. I've gone 2-1. I think it could be a very interesting game, maybe if Chelsea can get the first goal. But as I say, with form like that, it's hard not to back them. Moving on to the 3 o'clock kickoff games now. We have got Burnley taking on Leicester. Burnley sitting in 18th place. Leicester sitting in 10th. Burnley 2 points away from safety right now. So winning this game would be huge for them. The last few games they've had, despite me again, Burnley were generally pulling in quite a lot of draws, have dipped in form, have lost a few. They lost against Leeds in their last Premier League game, which was a big hit because Leeds were really a side that were kind of just above the relegation zone, and they are still just above the relegation zone, but now they are quite a few points clear, 8 points clear of the relegation zone. So really that was Burnley's chance to try and claw them back and try and move out themselves, but they weren't able to win it. And Burnley are also linked to selling their striker Chris Wood to Newcastle right now, which would be a massive blow for them, and it could well happen before they play this game at the weekend. It's going that quickly. Taking on a Leicester side who are pretty much on a win 1, draw 1 bit of form at the minute. They're a bit inconsistent, but they are still a very good side. Their last game was last year, the 28th of December, because they've had games called off where they actually beat Liverpool. So I am going to back Leicester here. I'm going to go 2-0. Again, it's going to be a tough second half of the season to Burnley, especially if they lose their striker, but they do have time to possibly bring someone else in. We will have to see. Next up, we have got Newcastle taking on Watford. Newcastle in 19th, Watford in 17th. There's loads of close games this weekend. League-wise and form-wise, Newcastle are 2 points away from Watford. So Watford are 2 points ahead of the relegation zone. Newcastle are 2 points behind getting out of the relegation zone. And let's be honest, this is just a massive game. 6-pointer for both teams. If Watford win, they move even further away. If Newcastle win, they pull Watford down and move further away. And if they draw, then they've both done Burnley and Norwich a favour, because it's left both teams still in there. So it's going to be tough. I will be there. So if you're a Newcastle fan, look out for that video on Saturday. I've backed Newcastle 1-0. I've got to do it. I can't say anything else. Honestly, I think it could be 1-0 either way. It could be 1-1. I think it'll be a real tight, scrappy game. Newcastle currently don't have a striker either. So just speaking about Burnley, how it'd be a nightmare if they lost Chris Wood. If Newcastle are able to get him in before Saturday, for me, that massively increases the chances of Newcastle actually scoring a goal. So again, we will see. And then moving on again, we have Norwich taking on Everton. So Norwich sitting in 20th place, Everton sitting in 15th place. Both teams, well, we know Norwich are on terrible form because they're bottom of the league. And we know Everton have been, despite what was a good start of the season, have just not been able to regain any sort of form, and have both lost 5 of the last 7 games. I think, ability-wise, I would just back Everton straight away, but, and again, as a Newcastle fan, I probably shouldn't say this, but I can feel a draw coming in this one, so I'm going to go 1-1 in there. And the last 3 o'clock game on Saturday, we have got Wolves taking on Southampton. So Wolves currently sitting 8th, Southampton sitting in 11th. Again, almost identical Premier League form, as you can see on screen there. Both won their last Premier League games. Wolves' last game was on the 3rd of Jan when they beat Manchester United. Southampton's last game was last night when they played one of their replayed games and beat Brentford 4-1. So Wolves straight away have got a week's rest. Southampton have got 2 days, 3 days. So I think that will work in Wolves' advantage. They are at home as well, but Southampton have just won 4-1. They're going to be on a huge buzz from that. But I have backed Wolves. I've gone 1-0 to them in that one. I'm backing the rest in the home form. Moving on to the 5:30 game now on Sky, we have got Aston Villa taking on Manchester United. Aston Villa sitting in 14th place, Manchester United sitting in 7th. These two teams played each other just this week on Monday in the FA Cup, where Man United came out on top and won 1-0. I saw the Gerrard chants from all the Man United fans, which was quite funny as a neutral, to be fair. But I think Gerrard could well have the last laugh in this game, as he has now secured the signing of Coutinho. And I believe he will be available to play in the game this weekend, which, honestly, for me, Coutinho is such a massive sign. I think any team would have, honestly, any team would do so well to bring in a player like that. And the fact that Steven Gerrard has used his connections and brought him in is just crazy. And I do genuinely think he will have a massive effect on how this game goes. So I have gone 1-1 in that one. I think it could be close. Again, complete neutral. I'm excited to see Coutinho back in the Premier League, so I cannot wait for that. And now moving on to the Sunday games, starting off at 2 o'clock, not on TV. We have got Liverpool taking on Brentford. So Liverpool currently sitting in 3rd. Again, 3rd place, but are 11 points behind Manchester City. They do have a game in hand, so if they won that, they would be, quick maths, they would be 8 points behind Manchester City. And they've just got to keep winning games. Their form has dropped in the Premier League in recent matches, and to add to that, they also have the main man Mo Salah off at the African Cup of Nations. They also have Mane there as well, so if things hadn't already have dipped a little bit in the last few weeks, that is not going to help either. However, they are taking on a Brentford side who did just lose 4-1 against Southampton yesterday. So I will still back Liverpool. I will go 2-0, but it'll be interesting to see how they get on without the main two players. Moving on, again at 2 o'clock, but this one is on TV, it's on Sky, and it is West Ham taking on Leeds. So West Ham currently sitting in 5th place, just 1 point off Arsenal in 4th. So they are continuing their push for Champions League football. You can see they did have a little bit of a dip in form, but have brought it back with 2 wins in a row in the Premier League. First one was against Watford, the last one was against Crystal Palace. Now taking on the Leeds side, who, as I say, are sitting in 16th, a comfortable 8 points ahead of the relegation zone at the moment. And as I say, won their last Premier League game against Burnley, which was just massive because it just gives them a massive jump away in the right direction. I can see goals in this one. I'm hoping it's going to be an exciting one. I don't know if I've over-egged it a little bit, but we'll have to wait and see. I have gone 3-2 to West Ham, which would be good if Antonio scored 3 for my fantasy team, but we will wait and see. And to finish off on the Sunday at 4:30 on Sky, we have got Spurs taking on Arsenal. So again, 2 teams, very similar position. Spurs sitting in 6th, Arsenal in 4th. Spurs are just 2 points behind Arsenal, so 2 points behind that Champions League spot, but they also have 2 games in hand as well. And if you've seen the form of Spurs recently, 7 games unbeaten. Now, I know that Conte had started to get them going, but I didn't quite realise that they've almost quietly gone about it. I hadn't even spotted the fact that they'd actually had that good a run in recent weeks. So now taking on an Arsenal side who, to be fair, had won 4 games on the trot themselves before they lost against Manchester City on New Year's Day. So I think it's going to be a close one. I'm very interested to know what you guys have gone for here. I've backed Spurs. I've gone 2-1 to Conte's team. So let me know what you think about that below. And those are all of my predictions up there for all the games this weekend. So be sure to get your predictions down in the comments below. As always, I will go through all of your predictions before the first game kicks off, which will be Friday night. But as I say, I will come back on Saturday morning to pick up any late predictions as well. So as I say, do get them in, even if you're running it a little bit late. I will go through all of them, I'll make a note, and I will shout out the winner in my next predictions video next week. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Hope you have all had a good week so far. Enjoy the football this weekend. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you later.